Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Ninth Legion, and let's play some more Starsector with mods. So, hopefully, this episode does actually contain some game sounds after the failure on my part to actually ensure we were recording sound last time. I do apologise for that. But yes, here we are. We are in the Dresden system. We came here because I believe there was a good bounty being offered. Let me just check that. Where are we? Bounties. In Dresden. Where's Dresden? Yep. So there's one being offered by the Lord of Church, but they won't pay us because they're hostile or inhospitable to us. Yeah. So it's possibly not the best system for us to be in. That said, there is an association trade fleet down here, which I wouldn't mind taking a look at. We're in a good position, plenty of supplies, nice fast fleet. Junk Pirate Patrol, we do want to stay away from. So what have we got here? We've actually got an association trade fleet, a couple of escorts, and a big freighter. Now, association is hostile to us, I believe. So, yep, this is a good target for us. Let's take them head on. They have a Buffalo class standard freighter, hopefully carrying lots of goods. An Eilhur class attack corvette. That's a new one on me. I've not seen one of those before. And an Eilhur class basic corvette, as well as, oh god, an Azrael class support destroyer. Okay, I didn't realise they had a destroyer. Interesting. I mean, let's have a look at these attack corvettes. How tough are they? One of the smallest Exigency Corporation warships, the Eilhur class corvette packs the full suite of systems typically seen on larger ships into a very compact, optimised hull. This ship comes with a built-in rapid loader for its missile launchers. Oh dear. That could be pretty bad, actually. Let's take a look at this one, the support destroyer. Combining pirate-scavenged Dominion and Exigency Corporation technology with an engrafted asteroid shell, the Azrael class destroyer is a powerful aggregate ship, featuring strengths of both domain and Exigency design philosophies. Interesting. It's got a lot of missile systems on that. 3 Mark IV arrays, 1 Mark X array, a Harpoon MRM launcher. That's, yeah. I mean, that said, I don't want to give up. You know what, we're going to do this. We're going to move into engage. Let's see how bad it is. I don't want to lose all my ships, but I think we can be able to take this. That destroyer can't be that bad. Now, we will deploy everyone for this. Let's not muck around. And I think everyone is just going to follow me. Okay, what we got? We want to try and pick off the weaker ones first, ideally. But that destroyer is coming right at us. That little corvette, not looking too great. Yeah, these little ships are actually pretty weak. There we go, that's one of them down. Oh god, I'm taking a lot of missiles from behind there. That little one there is almost dead. Okay, I lost power, but I got a couple of good missile hits into him. There we go, my allies are hammering that destroyer down. Last missile away, and yeah, disabled entirely. Now I don't think they brought their support, their freighter in, they didn't. So we actually got out of that. That was pretty hectic, but we got out of that pretty well. Let's see. No hull damage on that ship. No hull. A little bit of hull damage on our combat freighter. I got away without losing any hull damage, and our support frigate did okay. So that was actually a good fight for us. I'm quite glad we took that. We will maintain contact with the enemy. I want to get this actual Buffalo class standard freighter. Hopefully, it's carrying some goodies. Okay. Let's go in. We're going to take our 2 fastest ships, I think. Our 2 Wolf class. Actually, we don't need to bring in our second ship. That's just a waste. We'll just go in ourselves. We can definitely capture this thing. Sorry, not capture. We might better capture it, that'd be nice. But we can definitely catch up with this. There we go. Just nicely get into range there. Start hammering the back down. Have some missiles. Oop. There we go. Not sure what it fired at us with there. Some kind of ball of plasma by the looks of it. But we've captured that quite nicely, so we'll stand down. Got 800 credits from the wreckage. Doesn't look like we actually get a chance to salvage any of them. That's a shame. Picking up an early destroyer would have been nice. And they were carrying a bunch of stuff. So a sweeper autocannon, a full autocannon capable of firing continuously for extended periods of time. A harpoon MRM, pretty happy to see that. The mace, an atypical support cannon that fires cluster munitions. Interesting, that could be pretty useful. Got some supplies, a little bit of fuel, a lot of ore, and some more captured crew members. Now, we can't actually carry all of that. That takes us way over our carrying capacity, even with our own freighter. So I think this ore, which is probably going to be quite difficult to shift, is definitely going to have to go. And I'm carrying a lot of metals as well. That is more valuable. I want to keep the food for now. Yeah. Let's get rid of some metal. The food could come in really handy. If we find ourselves in a system that has a food shortage, the price of that will go through the roof. Whereas there's not really going to be a crisis that means metal becomes very valuable all of a sudden. Okay, so the Association don't like us very much more. The Luddic Church is happy with us, and we did get a bounty payment for that. That's good. Now I have got a full cargo hold, so I need to sell some of this stuff. And that could be a problem, actually. Because I don't think the Luddic Church is going to allow me to dock with their stations. So, we're going to have to go all the way up to here. Cat Sif. Hopefully, Cat Sif 1, there's an orbital... No, there's got to be someone up there who is going to allow us to trade with them. Here we go. There is a station up there. Let's head course in that direction. Hegemony and Pack joins the war against the Exigency Corp. Okay, so there's Eastern Clan. Hegemony and Pack have joined a war against the Exigency Corp. Interesting. Lots of stuff happening. It's hard to keep track of everything. Alright, neutral Luddic Church patrol. That's fine. There's some neutral raiders. Trying to go up past this. So, Syndrian Dictat is friendly to me. That's good. Hegemony trade fleets. That's kind of tempting. They're neutral to us at the moment, but we don't like them and we never have. Anyway, let's see. Yep, we can trade with these guys because the Syndrians like us. So let's start offloading some of our goods. They don't want our hand weapons or our drugs. I mean, we could do some trading on the black market. Let's get rid of our current stuff. So we've got a dual flak cannon. I mean, I don't know if... I might keep those for the time being. And they are willing to pay pretty high price for food, actually. Maybe I'll keep that for the time being. Confirm that sale. Let's just have a look at the black market quickly. What would they pay me for hand weapons? They would pay a lot for this stuff. I think it might be worth the reputation hit to sell this stuff off quickly. I don't want to get caught with it. So that's another 6,000 credits. Let's see. Be interesting to see. Syndrian Dictat military, they will sell to me. The military will sell to me, that's interesting. I could have sold them my guns, actually. Oh well. There's an interesting array of stuff here. We might be able to pick up a ship. We've got 115,000 credits. I think that might be worthwhile to go ship shopping, shall we? Back out of that. Let's see, what ships do they have available to buy? They've got a cruiser for 63,000. A mule combat freighter. I had used that in my last series. That was actually a pretty good ship. I did like that. A small tanker, a couple of those, some shuttles. Don't really need those at the moment. The SDS Actor, Prometheus class custom tanker. A tanker with vast capacity used to shift strategic amounts of fuel between worlds. Unlike its smaller cousins, the Prometheus features a reasonable defensive arsenal to protect its valuable and volatile cargo. Interesting, that is a big ship. Has point defense drones, a medium ballistic mount, and 6 small ballistic mounts. Interesting. Now, I mean, that cruiser, don't get me wrong, I am quite interested in a cruiser. Tough and dependable, the Venture is usually fitted with a good missile complement, but lacks the sustained damage output needed to do well in prolonged engagements. A flight deck allows it to contribute to the battle while staying outside the main fight, a particularly good thing because the civilian-grade power generators make the shields easy to overwhelm. I actually like the sound of that. Long-range missile support and a wing of fighters. I like that. I like that a lot. However, probably not what I want to buy straight away. Now, will the Syndrian Diktat sell me any ships? They will! Interesting. A couple of freighters, a frigate, or some destroyers. Now, I'm not a fan of the Enforcer class. That's the only problem here. I think it's a bit too slow, it's a bit too sluggish, and we've certainly killed many of them, so I'm not really interested in buying that, unfortunately. It's a shame that's the only class of destroyer they're really looking to sell. They've got another cruiser there. They've got some light cruisers, but I'd have to be friendly with them, and we're not friendly for them to sell me this stuff yet. The Heron class fast carrier provides the strategic and tactical mobility of a cruiser with potential firepower limited only by available strike craft. Interesting. Again, I like that. I like the idea of carriers and fighter craft. And the black market has got some fast carriers. Would be almost half my money though to take that. Hammerhead class destroyer. Used that a lot last time. That was my main ship in the last series. Probably flew that a bit too much. Should have tried flying something a bit different. But special functions. Have I got... No, don't have anything to really do there. Okay. I think for the time being... Oh, hang on. No, I don't want to pay a tax. I don't want to pay a tax. Damn, I couldn't move away fast enough. We're gonna get taxed on something. Fine, you can scan me. I'm gonna let this happen. Because we do want to be friendly with them. 3,700 credits. Good lord. Fine, we'll pay the toll. That is annoying. Just stealing my money like that. Hegemony trade fleet, offloading ore and rare ore at Anza. I am tempted to jump that. Let's see. Is that going to make the Syndrians unhappy with us? What is their relationship? Syndrians. They're allied to Citadel and Tritachyon. I'm going to guess they don't like the Hegemony too much. So they shouldn't mind if I just jump that fleet. Let's do it. Take command of the action. They've got two small ships. We're just going to bring in both of our Wolf class. Hopefully... No, not everyone. There we go. And we're just going to chase him down as quickly as we can. My compatriot can try and get that shuttle. He might be able to manage it. I'd be surprised. The shuttle's going to be fast. But I want him to chase that down. I'll worry about this guy. A couple of missiles is going to give him a pretty bad day. There we go. He's gone. I am catching up with him. That's good. And there we go. We are in weapons range. Have some missiles. If the missiles would hit, that would be really nice. But okay, most of my missiles missed, and one of them almost hit me. But we managed to get both of those ships. So that was a Cerberus class standard combat freighter and a Hermes class standard shuttle. So we'll all stand down. We got 345 credits from that, and they've got a little bit of stuff, which I'm quite happy to take. That railgun could come in handy. Take all of that. Thank you very much. And I'm immediately going to sell this. There we go. So we can dump that onto the market, we can dump that onto the market, and we can dump that onto the market. Not very much money, but it all helps. Okay, we are holding onto a lot of weapons. Let's see. I'm pretty happy with the weapons loadout we've got on our main ship. Our custom combat freighter, the Silverfish class. You've got your rocket launcher, mini duster. Yeah, I think that actually works out pretty well. When I've seen you in combat, you've done pretty well. Now, you've got a pulse laser, which is good. I like that on a wolf class. You've got point defense lasers. The ion cannon has come in handy, I think. The thing I don't like is the Annihilator rocket launchers. What I'm thinking is we actually replace that with Harpoon MRM, same as we've got on our class, on our ship. I really am a fan of the Harpoons. They've got such a lovely long range. But I don't have enough ordnance points to mount that, so if I can dismount those... Let's see, I've got one available in my cargo hold, so we can mount that immediately. I'm going to have to cut down on something here. There we go, that should do it. Looks like the cheapest harpoons are from the Sindrian Dictat military, so we can buy one of those. 288 credits, that's fine. I wonder if they've got any tactical lasers available here. That would actually make me very happy. I mean, point defense lasers are pretty useful. Yeah, we'll leave that at the time being. Might actually be worthwhile putting in another one. Yeah, we'll leave that as is for the time being. And our Warrell class support frigate. You've got lots of missiles, and the only other thing you can mount is a Shredder MG, which is point defense fragmentation. We could replace that with the mace we've got in our cargo hold. Close support, high explosive. I could give you a scatter PD laser. I could give you another rocket launcher. I have nothing but rocket launchers on this thing. That could be quite amusing. An atypical support cannon that fires cluster munitions, so it's got a DPS of 160 at a range of 650. So it's a little bit longer ranged, and it's not point defense. I don't know what the best outfitting for this ship is, so I'm just going to leave that as is, I think. But I'm glad we've got some more longer range missiles onto this guy. I think they'll come in quite handy. So we will leave that as is. And now we need to find ourselves a new target. But before this episode gets too long, I'm going to call this here. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, feel free to subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you later. Bye.